All right, we're live, and
Cool.
a lot of people are going to see an ad. So the first 30 seconds is just extra stuff. But hello,
Hey,
hi
Eric.
Garth, hi Retro Techie, hi Eric. I'm here with Logan. We're going to look at some Apple IIs today. This is a very um, non-professional stream, just to actually try to get some stuff done. And I appreciate Logan coming to help me out.
Sure thing.
I'm going to switch over to my bench cam, and I'm going to try to get one of these Apple IIs booted, so we'll have a baseline machine, and then we can start looking at all the extra motherboards.
Cool. Wonder if I can get you on a bigger screen. Here we go. Yeah, that'll work.
I can put the
Yeah, that helps.
thing there, and then I'm going to, for the moment, turn off the composite input so you can see what I'm trying to do. Logan, if you want to manage the chat for me, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
This computer immediately crashes. Let's find another one.
Yeah, I need to see what if you have like a video source up for your monitor, so I can see what the monitor does.
Um, hold on, things are falling. Let me turn the composite back on. That's what it's doing now, but give me a sec to swap this motherboard out.
Jack 68K says hi.
Hi, Jack.
Garth is here. Yay.
All right, here's a Rev 3 that I think works.
Oh.
I just want one that works, or at least good enough to try some stuff.
Let's see here.
A
Okay, there's your monitor. Okay.
floppy emu here.
That's plugged in the right way?
Yeah, it's a cable I made, so it's backwards.
I gotcha.
The red wire's on pin 1.
Gotcha.
And then a loose floppy emu here. I'm just
So I
gonna.
got some handmade jumpers. It looks like you're in Integer Basic.
Yeah, that seemed to work. Let me put a keyboard on here so I can actually try to boot this.
I think it does work.
Yeah, I think this is the one that you helped me with previously. This is one that's in the stack, but it's here because I need one as a baseline.
Right.
I'm gonna put this crummy Alps keyboard here, and
Okay. So we don't need the disk drive plugged in right now. Okay. So what we do is
I don't think this keyboard works.
pull the encoder off of. There's reset. Reset works. Okay.
Yeah.
That's different from the matrix. Did you pull the 3600 off of the encoder I gave you and put it in that one, or what?
Now this is what was supposedly a known working keyboard, and it
Swap.
was letting me type on another board, so I know that it was setting keystrokes.
Well, why don't we swap the encoder as a whole with the one I gave you? See if that changes anything. That's probably the best keyboard to test with because it's the non RFI and it's not the stupid little metal contact keyboard that like no one can fix.
Yeah, I got a couple of those. I'm not even trying. I'm using them as a source of spare keycaps on other ones that work.
There's no point in trying to even fix those.
Okay, let me pull this
You have
board
to
off
be
of
really
here.
patient.
It's gonna take me a minute. I
You got to be
can't
really
do it on
patient.
camera. Let's see.
You guys are funny in the chat. Garth and Retro Tech are talking about overclocking the board and such.
Well, you want to go from like 1 megahertz to like 2 megahertz?
Huh.
Is this some kind of Apple II GS? These little connectors on the daughter board are pain.
It should pop out with just those little snaps.
Yeah, I just did one. So here's the one I just took off this keyboard, and let me find the one that you sent me, because I think I attached it to one of the Datanetics.
Oh. I got Miss Pac-Man up and working today.
Cool.
Look at the size of this thing.
Is this the one with the soldering on it? Yeah, this is the one that you. This is the one that you sent me. Let me pull it off of here and swap it.
See that?
What is that?
Pac-Man.
Oh, all that for Pac-Man.
All that for Pac-Man, yeah.
All right. So this Datanetics has key switch issues.
Oh, I would
But
not mind getting that keyboard. I need to finish up my Apple One day next. I pulled off all the switches to put in the raised power light one, and I'm still missing all the keycaps. I couldn't. I mean, I have the flat ones, but they're not the right shape ones. But yeah.
when I got that other race Powerlight keyboard,
Yeah. Oh, from Mike.
but I don't think that it originally had a raised Powerlight because the Powerlight keycap sits way too low.
I'd have to see it. I'd have to see it because I've seen some raised power lights that um, are lower on certain Apple II cases. Like the really early Apple IIs, like the ventless ones, have lower power lights than other later on ones. It's weird. It all depends on what angle and what distance the keyboard sits from the case itself. It's very weird.
Let's see what
But yeah,
this does.
should work. Got video.
There, I got integer.
Okay.
This
Okay.
I think some of these keycaps are a little sticky.
Okay.
But if I do PR number 6, I should be able to boot, right?
Yep. Should boot right to the floppy. What do you have programs loaded on it, or how does the EMU work?
Yeah, I've got a disk image loaded and it's showing it, but it's not actually running it.
Is it an integer basic program?
It's a DOS 3.3 disk. Should work.
I believe it should work. I would say try something really basic that you. I would say write an integer basic program first so that we can see if integer basic works in its entirety, and then save it to the disk and then reload it on the disk back onto it.
If I need to load DOS in order to save it to the disk.
No, you don't. You just hit B save.
But there's no DOS commands loaded before you load DOS, right?
That might be right. I'm not too familiar with how DOS works. I mean, I've used it once or twice, but that's to get into. Ooh. Okay, well, that repeat key worked. Or either that, or the cable's bad, or your keyboard buffers are bad. Ooh, wait a minute. The space is okay.
It seems to be mostly working. It's just the return key you got to kind of smash.
You have to.
Yeah, okay. It works.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure that this Disk 2 card is good though. Let me find an alternate.
I would try an actual like original hardware Disk 2, just for the sake of getting this one fully up and good, just so we play it safe. You know.
I can try that. I'll need to find one. Let me see where I've stashed my spare Disk 2 cards. Give me a minute.
Giveaway Apple II. PCB way.
Here's some stuff. Thunderclock.
That's a language card.
Language card. Another Thunderclock. Here's a ROM card with 3/4 of an integer ROM set on it.
Huh.
It's a RAMWorks card. An 80 column card. There's gotta be something in here. Oh, there's that SCSI card I was looking for.
I don't see a Disk 2 in there.
Here's a hard drive card.
Nah.
This is a Yellowstone. This will act like one. Let me try that.
I need to get my phone charged. I'll have to plug it in. see here.
I'm gonna plug in this Yellowstone card. Maybe that will work. It's a Disc 2 clone.
That's possible.
Let's see.
You can also do
Diagnostic.
E000G from the monitor as well.
Okay.
Here, number 6.
Oh, it's loading. It looks like it's trying to.
I don't know what it's supposed to do when it loads programs. I don't know if it uses a certain kind of system or.
You know what I want to do here is I want to put.
Do we have good RAM?
We have almost 48K. It's missing.
And all RAM has been tested so far?
Yeah, this RAM was tested. It's all Texas Instruments / Apple original, except I'm missing the last chip. It must have gone away on a language
46.
card.
You may need that though. Yeah, actually, that might make sense because a lot of programs need 48K just to run normally.
Let me find a suitable chip. I think I have one in this pile of parts right here. Here's a Fujitsu. These came off of that weird Rev 7. So I don't know if they work for sure, but we'll find out. And you know what else I want to do is I want to put. Actually, I'm going to undo this. I want to put this language card in.
I was thinking about that.
So it can just auto boot.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Let me try that. So if anybody in the chat doesn't understand that the original Apple II with the integer ROMs doesn't auto start, you have to manually start it, or you have to add a ROM.
Right. Or you can modify the bottom right corner of a circuit board and put in an auto start circuit.
So the auto start ROM got me to integer, but it didn't boot the disk. That's weird.
Probably because it's not a standard disk 2 card, because the standard disk 2 has in the proms will auto start for stuff. Oh, that's good news.
There we go.
There we go.
So this is the pirated Apple II diagnostic disc.
Pirated. Okay.
Yeah, it even says so on the screen. Here, let me make it big.
I see it. Yeah. I'm surprised it's actually called pirated, because I've gotten discs that don't say pirated on it.
This disc is also smart enough to know if it's in an Apple II with integer or if it's in a 2 Plus with AppleSoft.
Based off of the ROM.
Yeah, it'll say 2 Plus if you go on an AppleSoft ROM.
Yeah.
So
I would say I would run ROMs first and then run RAM, because ROMs are the most important, I would say.
I'm trying to figure out how to
escape.
There we go. Escape. Return.
Return.
No. Yeah, this return key it's going to need some.
The keyboard's going to need work. Yeah.
Now testing.
Okay, I would connect a speaker if you could, because it would help to know if the speaker's output is working as well.
If I have one, didn't think of that.
Or wherever the base plate is that the board came off of. The wisest thing to do is to take apart a full Apple II, take the case, keyboard, take the board out, put the board you want to work on in the case, so that way you have a power supply and speaker already there with you.
Problem is I've got a number of power supplies that are still iffy also. So I had pulled all the boards. Here's a loose speaker right here. Came out of a 2E, but it should work.
Here, you can put the screen back a little so I can see you.
You want to see the board again?
Yeah, just to see what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay, ROMs look good. We can jump to RAM.
Okay, let me hook this speaker up. I got that.
There you go.
Go right there. What do you want to run?
RAM. Press down on it and wiggle it if you can.
It just doesn't want to go. Hold on a minute. Yeah, it's like the only key on this keyboard that doesn't seem to want to work right.
It may help if you press really hard and wiggle, maybe.
There. I did that. I kind of crunched it down. Press return
I press it
to
again.
begin. Great.
Okay, so grab the keyboard from
There it
the.
goes.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
your
these are
capture
just
card
Alps.
captures the color killer stuff too.
Well, what I'm doing here is I'm running it out of the Apple II into the Ikegami monitor that I can see, and then out of there into a Sony digital scan converter. But I'm converting
Oh,
it from NTSC to NTSC, which sort of cleans up the jitteriness. Like usually the picture kind of goes like all around. This at
interesting.
least makes it stable, but it keeps the color killer distortion, which is I'm not really seeing on the TRT.
Retro Tech is going to join us after he recaps his Mac Plus.
Yeah, okay.
He said wiggle it.
Wiggle.
Okay, so this is good news so far. This RAM test usually takes a while, a couple more, maybe 15 to 30 more seconds. But the good news is
Yeah.
that this will tell us the RAM, the 16K, the 32K, the 48K, and the language card RAM if it's all good or not.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure this board is
Fine.
good.
Yeah.
And what I want to do with this is just put it to the side and use it as a source of known good chips.
Yeah.
And
I would
I've got
say the last thing to test is the color bar test and test the joystick port. That's a full test of the whole board really. Because there's some stuff I think might interfere with the circuitry if the joystick circuit doesn't work. Then again, you can actually pull like 3 chips out of the board and still have it work fine because they simply are just only a part of the joystick, and you don't need that for the board to work. But it would help to have a fully complete board.
okay. I have this lovely
Yay, RAM's
joystick
good.
right here.
Okay, RAM's perfect. All of it is. Every row, even the language card's perfect. If they were bad, it would be inverse, like it's saying. So
See
it's
my
not inverse. Yeah, I
see
see
my
the joystick.
tasty joystick.
Did you get it from Javier or something?
Nah, this is like Mercari or something.
Oh, I never use that app for this stuff. I can never find anything on there.
I find stuff mislabeled on there all the time. Like I got an Apple IIc, but it was a 11C, which was hilarious.
Okay, so RAM's good, ROM's good. We can do return to the menu after that.
I can plug my joystick in.
I would not plug that in right now while it's on. That would not be smart.
I always do though.
That's
Okay.
no wonder these boards have problems.
Eh.
That
What I'm
return
gonna
key's
have to
gonna make
do
you work for it. There you go.
after this video, I'm gonna go solder a new Alps
Escape.
key switch. Oh yeah.
Press it.
I
There you
did.
go. There you go. Okay.
What do you want to run? Color bar test?
Could do a keyboard test just to find out what keys all will work and will not on that keyboard.
That's true. I know return's already. Actually,
Start
return is getting better.
Okay, so you can press every key normally, and then you can do all the shift inverted. And the speaker should be clicking.
I gotta remove my headphone to hear that. Hold on. No, I don't hear anything from the speaker.
That's interesting. It should be. Or her press 3.
3?
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Because it tells you already pressed it. Okay, you can keep pressing everything else.
P is flaky.
Okay, P's flaky.
It
Chest
actually
repeat.
worked the second try though. F didn't want to go.
J's a little.
K is stubborn. Okay. Plus, I don't have a backslash.
Arrow keys. You may not be able to get. It's going to get
Oh,
annoying.
those are arrows. Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, they're not in the same order on the screen as they are in real life, so that's confusing. I kind of like the 2E one where it's actually what you see is what you get.
Okay, so one Shift M gets you one of the brackets.
The brackets are where?
Shift M.
Okay.
Right one. Shift Control. No,
Doesn't do anything.
No, okay, that wasn't it.
That's really annoying.
I know. Hit
Sorry.
Shift N.
Yeah, that's what I just hit.
Oh, you already pressed it. Okay, I see. Okay, so see if we can get K working.
Yeah, eventually they all go.
Okay.
This is going to need some deoxit.
Shift Escape.
Shift escape.
There
All
we
right, I
go.
got everything, I think.
Okay, the rest of them are all inverse. Those are inverse characters, but we can't. Here, try shift. Hold both shifts and press a key and press any of the letter keys.
No, it didn't do
No.
anything.
Okay, then that's good.
I haven't actually tested the right shift key, though, I don't think.
Okay, we can jump to spacebar and then get out of that.
Yeah, but it won't let me out because the keys aren't all gone, I think.
Oh, because it thinks that they're gone. Yeah.
Yeah, well, let me turn it off, and then I can hook the joystick up, and then we'll do that final test.
Yeah, that'll work.
Make sure I don't mess up pin 1. Pin 1 is notched,
Everything
yeah.
is broken. Garage came in. Everything is broken. Garage said what's happening, and RetroTech said he's installing an SSD on his Ryzen system.
Okay.
Likely his fault. Sounds like a doorbell in bodega. To be honest, that's one of Apple's most rock solid products. He never worked on them. He only worked on breaking MacBooks and DGPUs. With DGPUs.
Garth, we can say that word because it's not monetized and whatever. Who cares? What do I have? 100 something subscribers? I don't think YouTube cares.
I didn't cuss Garth.
I didn't
Yeah,
hit.
it's also true, but we can still blame him.
Let's see. Game paddle button test.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Okay. So the way it works is you press any key and you turn. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so that tells us we're getting 0 to 255. That's good news.
I'm getting first button.
That's good.
And I'm getting the second button. This has the weird toggle button where you can auto fire.
Yeah, that works. That all works perfect. We get to 0 to 255 on all axes. So yeah, that joystick's good. So that means the circuit's good for it. So yeah, I would say this board's rock solid. Other than the color test, we have to see that still.
Yeah, this joystick needs alignment in order to center, but I'm not here to do that today.
Yeah.
This is a non-auto centering. This is the original keyboard company joystick, not the Apple version.
Yeah, the Apple version paddles that came with the original Apple IIs they're not rare, but they're expensive. It's like $80 for the 2 pair of them.
Yeah, I got those.
I see them on eBay all the time.
The black ones?
Yep, black ones. They look like Atari paddles.
Yeah, I've got those, and I've also got the beige ones that are usually marked for 2E, but the ones I have are actually keyboard company ones like this that are from the 2. They have this color. They have a black cord, and they have the darker sort of Apple III looking thing here. Okay, so this board is good.
We can hit escape and do the last color test.
Oh, that's right.
That way we'll know if the pot's
color
good
bar.
Or not. Yeah, color bar. Actually, read, write, and verify test would be good to know for the cassette ports. That would be helpful as well to do.
Don't I need a tape deck for that though?
Yes and no, because you can load programs off of ASCIIExpress.net and their digital .wav files. You just turn the volume all the way up and get an aux cord and plug it from your PC into the board, and it'll load without a tape deck. I do it all the time. I actually can write new disc from that website based off of the audio files.
I'm gonna skip the tape deck for today.
Okay. Color adjustments, J14, composite videos, that's the port. F14 is the color trim cap. Okay. We can hit return.
Return seems to be working better now.
Okay, color codes. That looks
a little dark and janky on the capture, but on the actual
looks good on the capture card.
Well, it's even better on the CRT.
Colors are actually pretty good.
I switched to a different CRT.
I actually like this capture card. I'm surprised it's working with this.
I mean, I could show you what it looks like when I take out the Sony scan converter. It jumps all over the place. On an Apple II or II Plus.
Gotcha.
On a 2E or newer, it locks right on. So I'm going into my CRT and then out of the CRT into the scan converter. It's this Sony, like a rack mount thing. It probably cost $1 million when it was new. And then it goes out of there into the composite to our HDMI adapter, and then that goes into an HDMI to USB 3 adapter on a Mac Studio.
Gotcha.
That's convoluted, crazy mess in order to get that picture to lock like that.
Yeah, the color looks good. So I would say the color's good. Circuits are good.
So we'll put this motherboard can be our baseline.
Yeah. I would
And
say the only thing we don't know that's for sure is that whether the 741 or the LS74 at J13 is dead or not, because those two chips are responsible for the cassette circuit. But that's not a big deal. That we can get to that another point.
Okay. Yeah, I'm totally not worried about the cassette circuit.
Yeah.
At least not today.
Yeah.
Let me turn this off.
I'd say this board's good.
And I'm gonna pull out the keyboard, and we can get rid of the joystick for now. Trying to put everything in an organized fashion. And apparently that this 2 controller I have is no good.
And it's kind of eh.
Yeah, I have a lot.
I would say try to load Oregon Trail, because if you have a 16K card and working onboard memory, it should work all the time, every time.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put this
on Android Basic or AppleSoft.
I'm going to put this completely away.
You can put that in the box and then mail it to me.
No, it's just going to sit over there as a source of chips if we need them. So the next board I want to look at is this Rev 4.
Okay.
And this is the one that was completely rusted. And then I soaked it in
the rusted one you got. Yeah, that was like a year ago.
I got it to work a bit, but it still acts eh.
Okay, so we have all 48K RAM or just the missing one?
We are missing one ceramic RAM chip, and this RAM has all been tested.
That RAM looks nice. Yeah, I would say if you're able to grab another one of those, just so the system is complete.
Okay, give me a minute. I had the chip, and I'm gonna figure out where I just put it.
You're running 16K bank RAM, right? Or are you running the 4K?
These are 16K RAMs, and there are soldered on 3 16K jumpers.
Okay.
Let me figure out where I put that that chip. Give me a minute. Get on there.
No. Oh, I have an 80s Transformer retro techie. Check this out.
What is that?
Transformer was 2 Pac-Man. Go figure. I'm kind of upset. I bought a floppy disk for my Mac that was a replica of the Mac intro that they did at the demo of the Mac, you know, where it has like the black Macintosh letters going across the screen and everything on the when Jobs announced it, you know. And so someone made a replica of it. I was going to run it on my 512, and my Mac crashed, and it kept saying a system error occurred, ID equals 15. Which, based off of my research, is a RAM issue. And I found out after the fact, he had already sent it to me from Slovenia that it needs a megabyte of RAM. Oh. So it only runs on Mac Pluses. I was like, great. I gave him my Apple II keyboard too, and he was real messed up about it. Because he wanted to use PayPal so badly for the transaction. I'm like, okay, well, if we use PayPal, they're gonna hold it for 3 to 7 days because they absolutely hate businesses and don't trust them whatsoever. And so he's like, I'm mad. I'm taking $5 off of my payment because I have to wait for 3 days.
That's silly.
And he did. And I was like, all right, well, whatever. I'll never do business with you again.
I don't know what to do with that. There was no, that's not it. There was a language card in here, but it had the last RAM, and I don't know where it went. So let me.
Well, you can just pull the language card off of the Rev 3. I mean,
that's true.
You know,
This has got applesauce, but yeah, that's fine. Let me grab it.
yeah.
It doesn't
Do you
care if
have
we put
a
2 ROMs.
Do you have the Microsoft one by chance?
I have a Microsoft language card, but it's in the Bell and Howell, and I don't mess with that machine. I leave that as it is.
Okay, I'm not sure if it'll work or not with by putting two of the same ROMs in the.
Oh, I've done it before. It should work. It should be fine.
Okay.
It just ignores the other one. Let's see if I can plug the keyboard in without dropping something else.
Huh.
All right,
I would
keyboard's
I
in.
would I would move the board a little bit further back with the power supply because it's not good to have the keyboard weight on the PCB, especially if this is the one that's not working because you might have a
That's
dirty
true.
socket or something.
Well, the problem is this cord is so short. Let me see if I can get room back there.
We don't need the disc 2 thing for now.
I'm gonna. Give me a minute. Where did I put that thing? There it is. Just to keep it from shorting on something that might be behind there, I'm gonna. Oh, I can't. Everything is interfering with everything else. Over there. I'm gonna put a
There we go.
piece of cardboard here. Try to protect this.
Yeah, there we go. Put our speaker in there. Get our keyboard. Should be good.
All right, I got the keyboard.
Yeah, that keyboard's definitely gonna need some cleaning.
Yeah, this is out of a Junk 2 Plus.
I like how you say junk. Like you're. Oh, I found this Rev 4 in my junk box.
Yeah. Does everybody have that? Somebody was talking about, oh, I got a 2E and I cleaned it. And I said, oh, I got to clean some too. And I had a picture of like 25 2Es. And they're like, oh, no. I wonder I can't get a 2E. You got them all.
Exactly.
All right. This is but not really distorted video.
Okay. But the good news is that we're getting a prompt, which means we're most like we're getting pretty far. Actually, that's pretty good news.
Yeah. If I play with the composite connector, I can sort of get it to lock, at least on the CRT.
See if the video jack is broken. See
It's not
if you wiggle
bent.
it, does the barrel does the middle lead turn if you wiggle the cable?
A little bit.
It's not making good connection. So the best way to fix this is to solder the middle lead to the rest of the steel housing, so it makes a perfect concrete connection. Very, very common issue. And if you replace it with a NOS jack, it'll happen again to that one.
Yeah, I got one here. Like brand new.
It would be way better to wait. Oh wait, that's them. Those are from DigiKey.
These are part match. I mean,
Those are 902K-ND on DigiKey. You can replace it; it just won't be original. It'd be better probably just solder the original one to the housing without having to remove it from the board. So that way you don't have to put heat on the board and spare it. Yeah, I see the returns working. I see that we're getting
yeah, and it looks way
working.
better on my screen than it looks on what you're getting.
Right.
Like it's almost usable on the CRT, but it's all squashed down. I think this might have been the board that had a deal with the
I would say
knob.
I would say solder the video jack first and see if that completely fixes it in terms of the CRT better and the video capture card. That's what I would say.
Let me turn the soldering iron on. It's going to take a minute to heat up.
Okay. What does your soldering iron? Is it temperature controlled?
Yeah.
Okay. What does it operate in Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Celsius.
I would run it at 310.
Let's see what it's set to. It's heating up. I can change it.
Or less, because you have to. What I noticed is that the reason the boards rip off traces and stuff is because on these old boards is because you have to use lower temp stuff because these boards weren't made to be at like 750 degrees Fahrenheit. They just fall apart at that point. What are you doing there?
I'm just seeing if I get anything out of the pins.
Yeah, that may not be the best thing to do because you
I know
might
that,
short the
yeah,
voltage pins on that.
yeah, I know there's voltage there. I know which pin it is though. All right, let me turn this off and I'll solder it. Now my soldering iron's set to 400, so that's not good.
It's a little high. Are you using lead or lead free solder?
Lead. I don't use lead free for anything.
Awesome, awesome. I have lead free, and I didn't mean to buy, but I have also have lead as well. So lead free should melt at 310 once it's actually up to that temperature.
Say that again.
Lead free, leaded solder should melt at 310 Celsius. I
Yeah,
tested
I
that
got
on my iron last night.
310.
It was one of those.
Yeah, the adjustment on this Hacko is sort of hokey.
What did I do
Why is it going back
with?
up?
Oh, it's over there. That's right.
It stayed on 400 for some reason.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. It's a rework station. That's what it's called. That's what I got. Garth and Retro are just talking about modern PC stuff in the chat.
Oh, fun. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It won't let me
It,
change it permanently. Like I push the button, I go to adjust. It lets me pick
what does
the
your thing look
number.
like?
So it has an up and an enter button on the front. That's a whole interface you get to work with, which is a pain in the ass.
Ugh. Huh.
And then when I hit enter, it just goes back to 400. Like, what is the point of this?
Alexa, what's 400 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit? Okay, that's 750 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, that's a little bit hot, but it should work. I mean, you're on metal. It would be something else if you were trying to work on a chip or a component.
Let me just give it one more try here.
Yeah, because mine's the temperature controlled, and I can go up and down and then hit set.
Yeah, I wish there was just like an up down button, but no, it just goes back to 400. This
See, so on mine's at 350, so I went down to 325 and then hit set. It went back to 350 and then it started lowering it down to 325. So maybe you have to give it time to lower down to 325 or
I'm just
350.
gonna leave it sitting there on that number without hitting enter and see if it just does what you said
Yeah.
by itself. Eventually, it should say like, "Oh, this guy's gone," and I'm gonna just do what this says. I think.
Yay, the logic probe.
While it's doing that, let me pull this board because I don't want to try to work on it in this orientation.
Yeah, I would say the safest thing to do is to put your board on like a metal base plate. So it's a lot cleaner and you have more space, and the speaker and the power supply are already mounted in the right spot. And that helps me best when I test boards or fix boards, because then I could just pull the board in and out of the base plate, and I don't have to stress about trying to move it around with all the tools and everything on the desk, because my desk looks the same like yours sometimes.
Yeah, this work area is kind of messed up. The thing with this composite jack is it's got a lot of corrosion on it. It's got green like crud on it. I mean, remember
Yeah,
this was
it's
this was
dirty
rusted.
connector. Right. It's a dirty connector and it's the broken connector. Yeah.
So the
It's very common that the connector breaks, but the rusted's obviously not common.
so the iron gave up and just went back to 400. So I'm just gonna leave it like that, and we'll see what
400
happens.
400 will work just for this jack. I mean, I've used the Hacko at 750 on these boards, and it's survived and it hasn't burned the board. But I really would hate for it to be like that.
I use 400 on the Mac stuff, and it seems fine. But
Max totally different.
yeah,
Max 4-layer boards that can handle that kind of solder.
stupid thing.
Is yours a pointy? Do you have the other tips that go with yours?
I don't have any other tips. I don't know where they are.
Okay,
Let's
that should
see.
work. So okay, make your. Can you make your screen any bigger? Does it let you?
No, I don't have the ability to do that with this setup.
So I would say solder that little rivet-looking lip to the base plate. Yeah,
That's what I'm doing.
yeah. Just make sure it makes a good connection there, and you should be good.
Oh, I can't really test it without burning my hand off. So
Well, you can plug the connector in without having to.
that's true. I can use that as leverage.
Yeah. And then you can just push the bottom of the board with edge.
The solder immediately broke.
You have to try it again there.
It's really dirty, so. All right, I think.
Let it cool. Let it cool.
All right. The thing is, if I twist that connector hard, it's going to break that off. But right now, it is actually solid. So for testing, I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'll probably just put a new connector on. I got bags of these.
I know. It just wouldn't be original, you know.
I'm
And
not
putting
really
high
that worried about
temps
that.
on the board. Who knows how safe that'll be?
Yeah. Well, I've got a late Apple II that I already had to put a new connector on because the original was completely smashed. Like,
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was pretty bad.
what did I do with that thing? Oh, there it is. I'm using this DVD case as a like a spot for the keyboard. There.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So speaker.
Fake speaker. Okay,
And we got power, and let's turn it on and see what happens. It's the same crap. It's all distorted. I think it might be the color trim knob, if I remember.
No, the color trim knob would not cause video issues like this. Color trim knob would at best cause color issues, which is not what we matter right now. The actual video should be centered, and we know that this capture card can pick up good video from a good board. So I would say the next thing to check would be the video circuit.
Okay.
In the video circuit, I would say pull the 4 161s at D 11, 12, 13, and 14.
Okay. I just put the last RAM chip in. I put an NEC in. That's an unknown, but
Okay.
NECs are usually pretty good. So you want D what?
D 11, 12, 13, and 14. Pull those from the good board and put them in that one.
Those are all 161s?
Yep.
Okay. Let me pull them from here, and then I'll go grab
Those
them from the other
are
board.
those are the horizontal counters that vertically and horizontally set the video on the screen.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Any issue from you of me spraying some deoxit in the sockets?
No. The oxid's
Okay.
fine. Unless it
Well, I
leaves like a
figured,
residue and like it gets all pasty or something.
no, this is good stuff. I use it mostly in keyboards. It actually makes those data switches wake up and behave.
Yeah, I need to buy that. When I found out about the diagnose switches, that they're not necessarily bad. It's just the adhesive that keeps the actual switch mechanism sandwiched together has just come loose over the years.
Yeah.
And the funny part is the reason why you don't want to use isopropyl alcohol is because isopropyl alcohol will dissolve the adhesive even more, which
Yeah,
will
I don't use
destroy
ISO
the
on
key.
switches because of that reason. There's other things like in the other kind of switches, there's little plastic latches, and that the ISO can actually, um,
Degrade it.
so yeah, like it, or it makes it too smooth and it doesn't function anymore because it's not gripping.
The good news is that since this board is a Rev 4, it has the same RN sockets that not RN sockets. I'm stupid. Um, the the no, wait a minute. I am right. I'm not stupid. Those are RN sockets. They're just a different type. Those RN
These,
sockets, you can pull the housing of the socket off without desoldering the pins. So if there's like crap underneath the socket or a broken trace that you don't see with the socket housing on, okay, so it's not the 161s.
nope. So I got to undo that.
Um, we could try the LS 159. I mean 259 at F14.
And I'm gonna need a minute to reverse this.
Why would we be having this issue? Yeah, there is a couple other things we could try. I would
Somewhere I had a graph that showed which chips did what.
I have
Can't,
that. I have that graph
can't
too.
find it.
That graph doesn't really help a whole lot because it's not of the revision that we have. So they'll describe stuff that's linked to other stuff that we don't even have.
What is that of? Is it like an RFI board or a,
Yeah. The charts have an RFI board, so you're gonna have all
yeah,
kinds of chips and
all
the
for
fact that they
common
talk to
stuff?
each other. Yeah,
This is not common.
that's for sure.
Okay, what chip did you say to try swapping?
F14, the 259. That's an 8-bit latch. So let's see if that's the.
I don't have a 259.
We'll pull it from the Rev 3.
No, I mean I don't have a 259 on row F.
F14, that chip
F
that
F14 is
says,
a 9334.
but you can put an LS259 in it. So
Oh,
either way, swap the chip back and forth
okay. Give me a minute.
to that socket there.
Well, it is right next to the video stuff, so it's actually in there.
It's the 8-bit latch that does like text and graphics mode conversion. It sets all that modes.
Yeah, it's a 9334 from 1980.
Yeah, I'm thinking 259 because the Rev 0 has 259 marked on it.
Oh, all right. So I got another chip here on this Rev 3. I think that might have been a chip that I swapped into that Rev 3 when I was trying to fix that. Okay, that's in. Nope, doesn't do it.
Okay.
I'll put that back. I know Garth says don't fix it too fast. Like, yeah, this is not. It's not a quickie. If this was a quickie, I would have just done it myself off camera.
Let's.
I'm trouble getting that chip back in. Give me a sec.
Let me see. Okay, so it's not the 161 counter. It's not 259. C 11, 12, 13, no, 11, 13, and 14, and B 11, 12, 13, and 14 are all. Wait a minute. Are you missing a chip there at B14?
Oh shit! I didn't even see that. There's an LSO2 missing. Good eye. Let me pull the one off of this other machine.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't see it. Sorry, I'm dumbass. I had pre-prepped these boards last week when we were first going to do this stream, and I thought I had checked to make sure they all had
Like,
either all the chips or that I had a note of if they didn't have all the chips. Okay, I put that.
oh, I don't want to do
Damn
that.
it. Keyboard fell. Hold on. guess it wasn't on.
Yeah,
Fortunately, I don't really care about this keyboard, but I do care about this encoder.
I was just about to say that. Hopefully the pins didn't get
Um,
ripped.
oh, I just bent one pin. Let's see if I can unbend it. Nope, it just broke.
Oh.
Ooh, I'll have to
Oh,
get
you can
another.
pull the cable from the encoder that wasn't good.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull that cable, and fortunately, I have the tools to make more of
Actually,
these.
I'm glad that cable broke because that cable was bad to start with. I'll admit it because that on the connector on one of the connectors there it's melted because I used it to make my first Apple One converter cable. So it's a good thing I broke anyway. It was time for that to go.
All right, well, I've got a crappy one of these foil pad keyboards that still has a ribbon cable on it, so I'm gonna steal it from there. Give me a minute. I can do this without breaking this one.
I
Okay.
finally got a CRT tube yesterday for my Pac-Man game. I don't like shipping anything CRT in the mail because you know what, you have the best experience with that.
Oh yeah.
And I went to my local TV recycler and paid for a 19-inch TV set for $20 and gutted the TV and kept the tube, and I'm going to use it for the arcade monitor.
Oh, that's cool. Hopefully, it's a little bit better than that one you were testing with.
Ooh. Oh, my TV set that I modded.
Yeah, that thing
Oh yeah,
has some serious overscan issues.
my TV set.
Yeah, I'm seeing the game go off the edge of the screen.
Really?
I'm gonna have to take the. Yeah, you should have a black border around that game. There's the sides shouldn't be going off the thing.
Well, maybe
All
I just
right.
haven't adjusted it, and I haven't adjusted it entirely.
So pin one is there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Like I got rainbow.
Wait a minute. Pin one. No, that
Pin
can't.
one is inside. Is towards the middle of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
board.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I've blown up my fair share of encoders by putting the ribbon cable on backwards. That was such a stupid thing
Now you
for
know.
Apple to do that. And the thing is, anybody can make the ribbon cable either way, so you never really know. I like these rainbow ones though because they have a little arrow where pin one is.
Right, 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 right.
Okay, let's see if I can do this without
Okay.
knocking the keyboard off the
I would try to move the
table
cardboard a
again.
little bit there.
This you know what? Let me get something to sort of sit off the edge of the table so I cannot have this constantly falling.
That would be helpful.
Um, I think I have a box that would work for that. This is the last loose one of these. The next board, if we can get this to go, is it's got the bottom plate and the speaker and everything.
Yeah.
Let's see, this board might be
Oh, the Rev
sturdy
7.
enough. I have that weird Rev 7 with
Yeah.
that ROM mod,
Yeah.
and I've also got a not sure what Rev. It might be an RFI that it's doing something weird. And I want if you have
If it
time,
has capacitors in between the slots, it's all automatically RFI
I'll show
of
it to you in a minute.
of some type.
Okay, this is probably good enough.
That's the best way I can tell boards early from late is that if there's any capacitors in between the slot connectors, it's already auto RFI.
Oh, look at that. How did I not notice it was missing a chip? That's so stupid.
Oh my
Now let
god.
me run the diagnostics on this one now. I'm going to leave that RAM in. That way I can test that RAM chip too. Give me a sec to get the disk drive thingy. I'm going to have to find another disk 2 card because I really, really don't want to use this Yellowstone card on a board that I'm testing because it's a $200 card.
Oh.
Because it supports 3.5s and all that jazz. I've got a disk controller from 2E. I'm going to use this. This one just needs a little adapter to convert it to IDC. Okay, plug that into that. Plug that into that. It's kind of weird to use a duo disc controller in 2, but whatever. Get the solder out of the way. Get the connector out of the way. Okay. Turn that on.
Oh,
That didn't work.
News.
That was weird. Doesn't like that.
It's locking it.
Plugged in, right? Yeah, it's keyed. That's pin 1.
Oh, there you go.
It must have been loose or something. Put that back there.
There we
Don't
go.
want this to short out.
Still got color fringing, so that's good because it's a Rev 4, so that's accurate. I would start RAM, ROM, keyboard. I don't need keyboard because we just did that already. So RAM, ROM, and
Please reboot.
that's
Okay.
new.
Never seen that before.
Me neither.
What's funny is the return key is.
P key didn't go.
Yeah. It went out 3 times, so it made up for it. The return key is actually working a lot better now. I guess just from using it.
Yeah. Dusty, unclean.
Not booting.
Maybe because it's still got some of the memory and RAM.
The speaker is just made a weird fuzzy noise too. I'm not sure what that's about. Let me run this without this just for a sec. Okay, that works. So maybe this adapter's screwy. I got another one here. I gave away too many of my regular disc 2 cards. Now I'm regretting it.
I'm older than Retro Techie. How old's Retro Techie?
I don't know.
That's what Garth is saying. Garth now likes calling me log on.
Garth says buzz. All right. Well, I booted back up and seemed to be okay.
Okay, let's go.
Do the RAM.
RAM.
Let's
Okay,
see. Let's
that's
return.
good. Return. You gotta smack that thing. There you go. Oh, we don't even really have to test the RAM because you said the RAM was all good except for the one chip.
Yeah, this is all the ceramic RAM I bought. It's all Fujitsu from 1979. And I ran it all in a good 2+ and ran this diagnostic on it previously. So I don't think I need to run this test, but it's already going, so whatever. There is one NEC chip in that, the one lone hole. So at least I'll know that if that chip's bad or not.
Right. That is hilarious. You forgot to put the O2 in there.
But this has AppleSoft ROMs in it. And there's another board here that's from the Red Label Apple II that I would like to steal its ROMs and put in here because I want the Rev 4 to have integer.
Right.
And then I'm going to put your AppleSoft ROMs from your old board into that Apple II.
Yeah, no, the AppleSoft ROMs are good. I repaired one of the legs on the D0 ROM because it snapped, but it's good now, so should work.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think the buyer's going to care. He just wants the original Apple II. He doesn't care what ROMs are on.
Pin 12 on that D0 ROM is the one that I fixed on set.
Okay. It's a good thing it's D0 too, because I've got extra D0s. Because that's what goes on these things, right? D0.
No, those are F8s.
Are they? Oh, you're right. Why did I think that? This card has a mix of RAM on it.
I was like, it's auto start. How would it auto start with D0?
I don't know why I just thought that. No, made in USA. That's why it's broken. Copyright Apple 77, 78, 79. Yeah, okay, Apple. Is this thing going to finish?
Yeah, it'll be done any minute.
The speaker is making a little bit of fuzz noise again. I think it might be because the cable is running across the floppy emu. And whenever it accesses the disk, it's like, hey, look, here's some noise for you.
Hope it didn't crash. I'll give it some more time.
Yeah, I'll give it a minute. It doesn't cooperate in a minute. I'll do something with it. Garth says, can Logan come help me fix my LC575s?
I don't even know what that is.
It's a It's a Macintosh, all-in-one Macintosh.
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look at a lot of schematics and data sheets to figure that out. Yeah, it's crashed. It would have been
Yeah,
done by now. So yeah. So maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna run it again. I'm just gonna reboot it and try to run it
Okay.
again. And if it does the same thing, I'll pull that one RAM chip out that's unknown.
Okay.
That
Is
doesn't
it
even do any good.
what series is the RAM? Is it 5290, 4116, 416?
These are.
It's not booting your disk now.
Yeah, I know it's weird. What are these RAMs?
The best thing I would
They're
say is try a
8116s.
different. Wait, what? A116?
Yeah,
I've never even heard of that RAM before.
it's compatible with 4116.
And we're sure on all the pins, all the timing and everything?
Yes.
Even the timing.
That went
The
away.
access timing?
Yeah, it's actually better than. Hold on a minute. It's
Better than what?
better than the. I think it's faster than what is normally in here. I think it's like 120.
That may not be good. Those may be too fast for the Apple II.
Well, it's been running
That's true.
in
Then
another
again, it
machine.
won't. Then again, it wouldn't RAM test.
That's true.
Well, oh, I know something we could do. Let
Pain in
me
the
look up.
ass.
Let me look up another YouTube video. There's a YouTube video command that I remember that a guy tested to see how much RAM he had that worked. There, don't here. Go back into the basic prompt.
Okay.
Okay, let's do this. Let me see here. So on a video I saw, this guy tested his system, and so one thing he did is he typed a basic command that helped understand how to do it. Let me see here. I think it was a very basic command, no pun intended. Let me see here. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to do it from my memory. Okay, so let's do print.
Oh, that peaky is bouncing.
Okay, so print FRE. Parentheses, left parentheses, 0, right parenthesis, plus 65536. Oh no, you got something.
I have no 5 key right now.
Do you have any key?
Yeah, it froze.
Yeah, it crashed. It crashed. I can see an @ symbol appeared on your R. That's
Yay.
weird. Here, unplug your floppy. Your floppy's isn't stable with it.
Let's try it without any of this for the moment.
Yeah, we just need to test the board itself. There's other ways we can get around doing this.
Just doing that now.
That's not good. Reset. Here, reset it. See if we can get it.
I power cycled it and it still does the same thing.
Reset.
No, it won't do it. I won't do a reset. Keyboard still seated.
Oh, crap.
When I wiggle the board, it's being weird.
Reset. See if again.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Get your logic. It's time to get the logic probe out.
Okay. I have it right here.
Something else was flaky.
I have the logic probe.
Okay, so unplug your speaker, power it off. get your red alligator clip
Uh-huh.
and connect it to the closest pin, the pin closest to you on the speaker connector.
All right.
Make sure the pins don't short between each other with the alligator clip. Then take your black probe and connect it to the far right pin on the 4-pin video connector.
Like
Make sure it doesn't short.
that. And it's going to
Best thing
want
to
to
do,
short. I'm just going to
yeah,
bend it.
yeah, that's what I do. That's always what I do. And make sure the sheathing's all the way up to the front, so that way it's got more protection.
Okay.
Because if you're
That's
gonna
as far as
move
it goes.
hope
But
it doesn't slip.
it's
Okay,
good.
so power on.
Yeah, this is weird that it just decided to fail now.
Okay. Put the probe on pin 40 of the 6502, so bottom right pin. Show me move your thumb. Press
Hi.
reset.
On here? Well, I
Yep.
can't hold that in.
Hold the probe and press reset on the keyboard.
Yeah, I know, but I need to turn the switch on the keyboard so that I can just do
Put
reset.
it on. Yeah.
Okay, so you want me to hold it there,
Short pins.
do reset? Doesn't do anything.
Okay. 6502 is not getting pulled from high to low. That's not good.
That
Swap
happened.
6502. See if 6502 died.
Well, how did that die? Did I short it out with the disk controller?
Maybe.
All right, let me pull the 6502.
And the keyboard couldn't be causing this issue because the reset circuit is completely separate from the rest of the matrix. So, I mean, also the pins on 6502 look really bad.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is the rusty machine.
Yeah, I know.
They're all dark and yeah.
They might help to get the board working if you clean all the legs as well.
I didn't do that. I know this 6502 works, so I'm gonna steal the one from over here off this Rev 7.
Man, 6502s are expensive now.
I have a lot of them.
Yeah, I wish I had more than I only have the one for my Rev 0 and my Rev 7 because 6502s are about $15 now.
Yeah, it must have been a 6502, or at least that chip is dirty.
Yeah, one of the two. Plug the speaker back in. Let's see if we get a beep. Just unplug the red one. Maybe should have probably powered it off before we did all that.
Oh well.
It crashed.
I didn't short anything.
Well, it crashed.
Oh well, I have beeps.
Okay, let's continue testing.
All right, let me put the disc thing back on.
I honestly wouldn't. I wouldn't until we can do some other things.
Well, what other things do we need to do?
We can test the RAM without having to do a diagnostic. We do the print FRE 0 parentheses plus 65536.
Can't type anything. Hold on.
There it is. It came
P
through.
keys, stupid.
Now it's working too much.
Print. What was it? Free 0.
FRE. The F didn't go.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's hard to deal with this keyboard.
0 plus 65536. 6. Enter.
48 megs. Well, it's almost 48 megs. Or 48K.
You have a couple bits of RAM missing.
Do you think that last chip could be responsible?
It could be because you should have 47101.
Okay, let me try changing that chip for a known good chip, and then we'll try that test again. This is a chip that came on that weird board.
That makes sense why the RAM test didn't work if that chip is bad, because the actual program needs a perfect 48K to run itself, and it can't run itself if the actual 48 is bad, which it makes sense in why it crashed.
I don't know where I put that board. Give me a sec. Okay, here's a Motorola chip that's known good. Just got to pull it out of here in a minute. The socket is not a happy socket. Systems off, grab myself, and we'll put this little Apple Motorola chip in there.
Check for any bent pins or anything.
Yeah, now we're good. Let me try this again. PRNTFRE
That's
0. God damn, I didn't forget it. The keyboard forgot it. Now it wants 2 of them. I wonder if I can just put the whole keyboard in.
So deox it.
Yeah. What was it? 65536?
Yep.
There you
Ding.
go. Oh yeah, that RAM chip's bad then. Where is that? I'm gonna throw it away. Actually, I'll just test those later. So
now we can test the RAM on your disk card.
On the disk. Okay, let me get that. I'm gonna adjust this this DB19 connector though. I think because the it's got the hex screws and they're not all the way in. I think that might be making the connection not good. So I'm gonna actually just take them out because this is designed to mount to the back panel of the 2E.
Interesting.
Oops, got my socket. This little kit that I got for working on iPhones actually has the correct size bit for 2E thingies. It's by coincidence.
I mean, shoot, these Apple IIs are nothing to me now. Once I went to the arcade scene, I mean, these boards have like 85 chips on them.
I thought you were just buying arcade boards so you could steal the chips for Apple IIs.
Heck no, heck no. boards like these boards are working that I got up and running, and they're like 85, 86 chip circuit boards with daughter boards that have another more chips on them.
I always thought it was crazy how many chips those arcade boards took.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 by 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 by 9 row of chip rows.
All right, you want me to run the RAM test again?
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see if it doesn't crash this time.
Return key is working on one try.
That's always helpful. No, it's not. There we go.
Now that just takes. There's a delay there. I figured out. You hit the button and it's like 1, 2, and then it goes. It must be loading something when you tell it to start.
The blue tint in the text means it's magical.
Who said that? 1 bit. Hey, 1 bit. How's it going?
Hopefully, you guys are entertained by our witchcraft.
I can't actually see the chat directly from where I'm at. I can't get this Windows 10 thing I usually use that shows me the chat on the workbench. So I have to turn around and look back at the Mac to see the chat. It was more important to me to get the Apple II capture working today than the chat machine. Question marks.
Okay, that's good so far.
I'm surprised the Sony thing does this good of a job keeping that image stable.
Right,
it is a mess when you run it off just directly in.
Right. I may have to buy that Sony thing.
I got it off eBay, I think. It's supposed to let you do like convert composite to VGA and stuff. That's the age of it.
Okay, we're still good. That's what should be happening. The characters should all be flashing like that, but it should be inversing, like changing the screen. Previously, it was just stale like that and it never changed.
Yeah.
So it's still chugging.
Yeah, it's still changing. And
ta-da!
Sweet.
Hey, RAM's good. You can test ROMs.
Yeah, return to menu. Yeah, so when I hit return there, the reason there's a delay is because I can
2-second delay.
Well, I can see the floppy EMU light up. That means it's actually loading something from disk. But we can't hear that because it's not mechanical.
A drop. That makes sense. Okay.
So I'm gonna go to ROMs.
Escape and then ROM.
This should just be regular old AppleSoft ROMs.
Yeah.
Oh, I also see at the top how it says Apple II Plus.
Yeah.
Even though it's the Rev 4, or
Yep.
it still thinks it's a
Right.
plus. I mean, it could be a
Right.
plus.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe it's a super rare prototype. Who knows?
Well, this board came in a 2+ case, so it
That's
might have been shipped as a 2+.
yeah, yeah, maybe they swapped the board in if it died or something. Maybe they put an earlier one.
No errors.
That's good.
Oh, it's in D8
It,
ROM.
it does it all. It does all 6 on its own.
Okay.
Good.
And by the way, these 8116 chips, I did a lot of research making sure that they should be compatible with an Apple II
Good.
before I paid money for them, because they're not cheap. Ceramic chips aren't cheap,
No, no. Anything ceramic's not cheap anymore.
but ceramic stuff always just seems to work. So
Yes, I can. I'm telling you that ceramic 2513 I got hasn't had one single issue since I got it.
that's pretty cool. The one I've
Uh,
got in here is a 2513. It was made in 1979. It's still
GI
working.
brand, isn't it?
It is
Yep, that's why it works because I
made in
was designed it
Taiwan.
around GI. I knew it. Every Apple II I've ever seen, early models like these, Rev 1, 2, 3, 4, and 0, all have GI brand ROMs because it's the only ROM that'll work. Because Woz designed it around the timing of that chip. So you can't put a Cynetics 2513 in it. It won't work.
The one the Rev 3 that we just worked on, this board here, it has a GI, and it's from 1978, the second week of 78, and it still works fine.
Wow. The funny part is that the GI ROM that I got, the ceramic one, that one's from 1976 and it works. And it's earlier and was cheaper than the ROM I put in it. That didn't work. I only paid $30 for that ceramic ROM.
That's a really good deal. Garth, yeah, you can have double points. 2 times 0 is 0. So there you go. And if you're logged into those machines, that I don't think it counts as 2
Double views.
streams. You'd have to be unlogged in on one of them.
Yeah, I don't think your YouTube lets you do both.
Because I know that if I watch something
Unless you
from my
chain the
phone
monitor.
and from my TV, it doesn't show as 2 people
Yeah.
or 2 views. On the F0, I think it says F0.
Yep. That's the fifth to the last ROM. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I need
now
to find one. I need to find one integer tip. I think I know somebody who might be able to sell me one. Okay, that all passed.
Okay, so we can do. You don't have programmers aid. We already did keyboard test. Game paddle button test. We can do that still.
Yeah, I gotta restart to do that. Let me run the color bars real quick, and then I'll plug the joystick in. Hit return. Oh, I'm not getting any color. Oops.
Well, there's the color trim issue you were talking about.
Let me play with that. Need a little tiny screwdriver so I can turn that pot.
Interesting. There is color, but there's not color.
I think this color trim might have gotten messed with by somebody named Adam. Let's see.
No.
That's not doing anything.
It's not doing it. Either something in the color circuit is dead. No, that's just a brightness. That doesn't help.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to see if it was.
You can see the color on the bottom, like a slit of it on the bottom and the top.
What's weird is we were getting color fringing in the text mode, but
you still are getting color fringing
on my monitor. I see almost no color at all.
I can see it in the color capture because when they did the color circuit mods, they only did them good enough to where the CRT didn't recognize it. Yeah, see, it's still there. So
yeah, it's there on your end, but on my monitor, I just see black and white.
Interesting.
And I'm getting a lot of like distortion. It's like
it's common
noise.
on these early boards. Yeah, it's very common. But it's standard, so that tells you that it's working because this is what's to be expected on a Rev 4. Okay, we can hit return. Okay.
Can I do anything with this?
Color. Let's see. That's just brightness. That brightness isn't. Yeah.
I don't know. I just want to see. I really think that this this color trim component just might be bad because it was really rusty.
That's possible. Yeah, I would try deoxiding it maybe, see if that helps.
I'm turning it
If
a lot,
it's
and I'm not even sure where I started.
if it's not the pot, it could either be a chip or the crystal. Because crystals are very finicky on these boards. You have to make sure you have the right one installed, and if it's not the right one, it won't output video perfectly.
Yeah, I haven't messed with the crystal on this machine. Oh, but this A3 is getting kind of hot.
Could be dead. It's a possibility. What I'm noticing that's odd is that on the capture, the video is different. It's kind of waving because the brightness is so low.
Yeah. Let me see.
I see now it's gone. Okay,
No, I
so
just turned the brightness knob back up. I had turned it down a little bit. Um,
lightly tap the crystal.
it's making the video flicker, but it's not changing the color at all.
Pull out A3 and reinsert it. So we'll turn it off.
All right, give me a sec.
See if that's dead. Do you have an IC chip tester?
I have this thing.
Uh, that's something.
I don't know if it'll do anything with that chip. Um,
If it could do logic, that would help. Worst case
on my
scenario, if it's dead,
controller.
just pull it from the row 3.
You want to swap it or just?
Swap it just to be safe.
Okay, I'm gonna swap A3.
We should have done that. We should have started feeling for hot chips at the very beginning.
Well, it was mostly working until we found that it didn't put out color. There was no real reason at that point, I don't think.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're getting text fringing, that could just be purple and green. That might be working, but nothing else.
All right, let's
Okay.
see.
Okay.
Oh, still
No.
gray.
So that chip's not dead. The 2513 looks pretty bad. Condition wise. The 2513 looks really bad.
Here?
Yeah, pins.
Yeah, it's got some darkness on the legs.
On my side, it looks like it's multicolored.
That's not too bad. Anyway, if that didn't work, then it wouldn't be able to type, would I?
Yeah. That's kind of true because I was able to type on my bad 2513 even though the characters flickered.
I was gonna stick a RAM chip in there and see what happened, but it doesn't have enough sockets.
Okay, so let's try it again. Maybe see if it works.
Right. So I need to order an LSO2, so I don't think I have any spares.
Hey, we got color fringing.
Yeah, you do, but I don't.
Right.
I think my monitor is just
good.
Because it's an actual CRT, it doesn't do that. Okay. I don't get color.
Okay, let's pull the floppy and see if we can write color directly on the board without any attachments on it.
Sure, give me a sec.
Yeah, just like that. It should boot as is.
Okay.
GR. Color equals 1. Return. VLIN space 0,39 space at space 0.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've done this. Yeah, it's not color. So there's a hardware issue.
Mm-hmm.
I really think it's that color trim pot. I think it's just doing nothing. I think it's probably either blocking the signal or it's sending out zeros or it's sending out or it's like shorted.
Let's do it properly. Let's see here. Well, let's get the Winston Gaylor schematic. That's a very odd last name.
Hello, everybody who's joined. I see Big Bad Biologist and Rudy.
Rudy's in here. Cool. Okay, let's see here. So the color circuit. Let's see here. Okay, so the color circuit on the Rev 4. That's what we have, right? Yes, no?
Sorry, my mute went on for some reason. Yeah, Rev 4, 1979.
Okay, so video generator, that's RFI board, that's Rev 7 boards. This is the Rev 1 board. And there's Rev 0. There's Rev 7 and RFI. Interesting. They don't cover the Rev 4 board on this schematic, but that's fine. We don't really need it. We just need to look at the Rev 1.
The Rev 4 is a weird board because it didn't exist very long.
Okay, so let's see here. So, let's get our logic probe back out.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, you want to hook it back up?
Yep.
Okay, let me turn it off before I do it this time.
I'm sure you're right, Garth, but I would assume he would have to desolder it and pull it out to test, since he probably can't test a pot in circuit.
Was it black to the speaker?
Red to the bottom pin of the speaker and black to the right
I had
of
it
that
mixed
other
up.
pin.
Okay. Red there. This sucks. Red there and black. Got it away thingy. Black.
Yeah, just make sure they don't short, and we'll be good there.
Yeah, I've got better little grabby cable pin thingies. I don't know where they are though.
Okay.
You know, the ones that are designed for getting into a chip.
Let's check B12, pin 12. If you turn it on, we gotta make sure they don't short. Yeah.
B12, pin 12. So that would be what is that? An 8-pin chip? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So which pin?
Third chip or third pin from up.
Third pin from on the left side?
Oh, third pin on the left side.
Hold on. Gotta kind of do this left-handed to get there. It's low.
It's low?
Yeah, it's constant low. Oh, wait, why is this on CMOS? Shouldn't this be on TTL?
Yep.
What is this other switch? MEM and pulse?
Put it on pulse.
Yeah, it is already. Okay, let's try this again. Which pin was it again? Sorry.
12, so 14, 13, 12, third one.
Third pin. Yeah, it's constant low.
Okay. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be high or not, but I would assume if it's color burst, it is supposed to be high.
Well, we're not in color right now. We're just on an Apple.
Okay, let's dump into GR and then try to get a color and see if it changes the state.
Okay.
Color equals 1. Equals 1. Plot 0,39. Return.
I didn't do anything.
Did he go high to low? Are you measuring it or what?
Oh, I see one dot in the corner.
That's correct.
I'm not measuring it right now. Let me put it back on. Now it's low beeping. So it's doing color
reset.
Then, right? Hit reset? Reset doesn't do anything. Any control reset?
Is the switch turned over?
Probably not, because I changed controller cards, remember? Hold on. Let me flip that. I'll put it back on the pin. And then I'll hit reset. Yeah, and I get that. It's still beeping.
Okay, we're gonna have to power it off and try it again while you're measuring the pin because we have to see the activity while you're trying to do it.
All right, I'm turning it off. I'm holding the pin on there, and it just does the same thing right from start.
Okay, so it's low with a pulse. Okay, so let's do the GR again.
Okay.
Color equals 1.
And then
Plot
what was it?
0,
Plot.
39.
Oops. 0, 39 return. And I got a dot, but
But the probe doesn't change.
doesn't do anything. No.
Let's swap that chip.
It's an LS11. Okay.
From the Rev 4.
This part is original. It's from early 79.
If the legs are black, maybe cleaning it will help.
Pin 8 and pin 1 and 2 are pretty dirty, but let's try another chip just to see before I mess with that. LS11. This part is from 1977.
That was an original part, or it was swapped. Actually, it was swapped because that part was already created well before the Rev 4, because Rev 4 came out a year later.
I mean, the one I'm pulling from the Rev 3 is from 77.
Oh, maybe that one came out. That revision came out in 77. Who knows?
All right, so I put that in. Let me just turn it on, make sure it works. It does. So we'll put it back on pin 3.
Let's turn it on and make sure.
It's
Okay.
doing the same thing, low beeping. So GR.
Okay.
What was it? Color equals 1. And then plot. Oops, the P key is being a jerk. 1. What is it? 39,1.
0, 39.
Oh yeah, my brain's not working. 0,39. Still
Now,
beeps.
okay, that's interesting because the LS11 is responsible for putting out the color. Actually, no, that's the color burst signal. So actually, we can follow the color reference further back from the clock generator. So let's jump over to there.
Okay, where do you want me to go?
Let me see 1 second. Peripheral I/O, ROM, microprocessor, RAM, memory address, video address, clock generator. Okay, so color reference comes from B1, which
B1.
is 74S175. Make sure that's actually the correct part that's in there, and that part is clean legs or any bent legs.
Let me turn this off for a sec so I can pull that real quick. You have any problem with me swapping that LS11 back?
Yeah, you can put it back in the Rev 4. It's clearly not the issue.
Yeah, I want to make sure I keep track of this because I don't want to mess up the Rev 3. And
Right, right.
I'm probably going to give it back its LSO2 that I stole because it's an older part. All right, so
B2.
you said B1?
B2.
B2. Okay, hold on.
That's actually the 74S. No, I'm sorry.
Not
B1.
B2?
You are right. B1.
Okay,
B2
well, I got
is
B2 out.
74S.
Let me just look at it while I've got it in my hand.
Yeah, B2 is the clock generator or the clock divider. So that if that wasn't working, you wouldn't have nothing.
Okay. Yeah, B2 looks, the chip actually looks really good. It's one of those El Salvador chips, and for whatever reason, they don't seem to rust.
No, they don't. That's interesting. Okay, so B1, check for any bent pins, broken pins, corroded pins.
It doesn't look too bad. Let me make sure it's actually what it's supposed to be.
Make sure it's an
So,
S, not an LS or a 74175.
I need to zoom this because my eyes are too crappy. Give me a minute.
Thank you, Garth. I appreciate that.
My lens is dirty.
It's an early black and white only model.
That's an Apple One.
Yeah. The funny part is that the Apple One could do color because it uses the same clock frequency that the Apple
This
II
is
does.
a 74S 175, and it's an
It's okay.
AMD part from
Okay.
79.
AMD, that's interesting. Okay, so let's put it
You want me
back
to
in.
swap it, or do you want me? Well, let's put it back in.
We can swap it or we can probe it. Your call.
Let's put it back in and probe it. And if that doesn't work, I'll try to swap it. All right. Which pin on it do you want me to probe?
Let's probe pin 2 and 4. No.
Start with
Pin 3 and 2. We can do either one you want first. They're both not color reference and color reference.
I'm on pin 2, so
Turn
I'll try that
on.
first. And I'm getting a high and a low. And a beep.
Whoa! What's going on there?
I have no idea.
Did you put something in backwards?
No, I did not.
Nothing's in backwards.
Wait a minute. I didn't put the 74 LS11 back in.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, I put it back on the other board, but not on this board. Oops. All right, let's try that again. Pin
2. Make sure you
I'm
don't
trying to
short
hold
the
this
pins
so that
together.
you can. Yeah, I'm trying to hold this so you can see it and so it doesn't short. Okay, pin 2 on B1. Still
Okay,
being
high
weird.
with a pulse. Okay,
High and low with a pulse.
High and low. Okay, that's not an issue. We're getting activity, so that's good.
Yeah. What about pin 3?
Let's do GR.
Pin 3 does the same thing.
Okay, so that's not color burst and color burst. Okay, or color reference, I should say.
I just saw color on the screen.
I just saw color too. Try putting the color on the screen. So
I'm gonna pull that up because I can't type and do that. Color
equals 1. Let's do VLIN space 0,39 at 1. Bada bing, bada boom.
Reseating it fixed it.
All right.
Sweet. So let me run my color bar test.
Yeah, let's do the color bar test. Yeah.
Give me a minute. And it's getting kind of long into the stream. I might, once we verify this, I might pull up the third board if you don't mind.
I have enough time
to do a diagnostic on it, and then I'm gonna have to wrap it up at some point. Give me 1 minute to figure out where I just placed that. Oh, the floppy is right here. Duh. Okay, that's off.
I know the demonic language of the ancient world of Apple II.
While we're here, I'm going to take the logic probe out. So I don't think we need that right now. And speaker back in. Which I bent. Oops. And I also want to. I'm going to be cocky and assume that the thing works, and now I can test the joystick too. So I'm going to hook the joystick up. I really don't like this type of joystick connector. So glad I got rid of it. I have one of those little adapters though that goes designed for the 2 case that goes from this to the 9 pin.
Yeah. The DIN.
And it sort of like notches into that back part of the case. All right, let's see if this works. I'm getting dirty video, but I think it's because that composite connector is just trashed.
Yeah.
All right, let me do the color bars. Load. Look at that. Cool.
Wow.
I had no idea B1 was part of that circuit.
Yeah, it takes the color frequency from the clock.
Okay, so it divides it from there and then sends it over to
the clock outputs to the 74S86, which was B2, and then the B2 divides the clock amongst the other.
Oh, that's the divider. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that AMD part still works, and it's what is it, 44 years old? That's pretty cool.
Let me see. We should check. Check the color trim pot. See if that works.
Oh, let me go back in there. I just sworn that pot was bad, but let's see what that does. I'm kind of surprised with me turning that all crazy that it even came up correctly. Let thing is still a little crusty.
Yeah, we're getting color change. Oh, right there, right. Oh, you had it perfect. Just right there. Yeah, right about there.
What's funny is on the CRT, I see no difference at all.
The blue shouldn't be a little bit. There should be no blue in between the purple and the green.
There isn't it on. Well, there is a little bit on the CRT. Let me play with it. I'm gonna make it look good to me on the CRT and see if.
Interesting.
How does that look to you?
Nah, turning it back
better?
the other way. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, that
Right there?
No, a little more. Other direction.
Oh.
A little bit more. Right about there. Yeah,
No, it's good.
Right about there is good color. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. And the outer color should be brown, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's looking okay.
I think I'm nitpicking because I'm noticing the digital color imperfections, if you will, but you're not noticing that on the CRT because that's how it's designed is to not be an issue on the tube.
Yeah, no, to me it looks pretty good on the CRT. This is only about 15-year-old CRT, so it's pretty good. All right, so I'm satisfied with this board. I'm going to take the.
Did we check everything else? All the other tests?
I'll check the joysticks. Yeah, that was the last thing I wanted to check. Game paddle button test.
Thank you, Garth. I do it because I like to. Respect and fear, Logan. The high Hierophant.
Press any key. All right, so let's see, up, down, left, right.
The IC was B1, Rudy. It was just dirty. We reseated it, and then we got color back.
Now, this is the board that was originally completely covered with rust, and I took it and put it in the ultrasonic cleaner with vinegar, and then I soaked it in vinegar, and then I cleaned the whole board in ISO, and then I PCB cleaned it with the ultrasonic cleaner again.
Shocking development there. Not working on a real board, but a simulated Apple II. Shocking development 2. They're working on an FPGA simulating an Apple II, making him the true master of a higher level.
So this game port works.
Did you test? It doesn't. I don't see it moving here. Let me see.
Like right,
okay,
left,
I see there.
up, down, and then left button or paddle 0, and then paddle 1.
Okay. Joystick's good.
Seems good to me.
Joystick circuit's good.
All right, so
I would call this good, except for pulling out the AppleSoft ROMs that you wanted to do.
Yeah, and I need to get a one replacement chip.
You need an O2.
I'm gonna put the LSO2 back into the Rev 3.
Okay.
Steal that back off now.
What were the other boards that you had in your supposed stack?
Let me show you here, and maybe we can quickly look at one of them.
Yeah, I just want to see what they're doing.
Just want to put this LSO2 back where it goes, and then put this Rev 3 away for a sec.
Yeah, I would do what Garth said. Put a Post-it note on it of what it needs.
I already wrote down. You can't see, but it's off camera. But I have a little note thing I've been writing every time you see me kind of wander away. That's what I've been doing. Let me pull this keyboard. And
of course, Rudy.
Pull this floppy card and power. Oh, and video. And I don't think I can clean that composite connector up very well.
You probably could with like some scrubbing of I actually use a lot of toilet bowl cleaner on boards because it helps quite a bit.
I know you're all worried about original. What I can do is pull one off of like a RFI board that's destroyed, and it will at least be the right part.
That's true. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so I'm going to call this one diagnosed, and then here's one that I've got that you've seen. Let me move this power supply out of the way. This is that weird one with that weird ROM.
Oh.
And it has its own power supply. Remember, this is when I bought just the bottom half of the computer. I didn't get a case with it.
It might have been wise for us to put the 4 sockets back because we won't have a way to test whether that ROM they added in is bad or not. And
Well, let me tell you.
we
Let
can't
me
put it.
continue because
Oh,
I've actually got this to start. Well, off camera.
you have. Okay.
Yeah, I messed with it, and let me just show you what goes on with it real quick.
You're not missing any other O2s anywhere?
No, I have one bank of RAM though only right now. But look, if I
Okay.
get this mess when I turn it on, now
Okay.
if I turn it back off and I plug in a keyboard, give me a sec to do that, and I put a piece of paper here or something just to, I'll just hold it. I turn it back on, I actually get a prompt with a keyboard. Doesn't say Apple II though.
What?
But I get gibberish on the screen. Also, if I type, it doesn't really do anything, or if it does let me do something, it's just all gibberish and it freezes. This one's really weird. So I get that, but if I turn it off and then I wait a second and I turn it back on, it's different. It's weird.
I bet you I already know what this might be.
And if I change the settings for this ROM thing, which between AppleSoft and Integer, if I get it to start, that actually works. So that makes me think that ROM thing is fine. It's something else wrong on this board. Either that or I need to fill in the RAM.
No, you don't. You don't.
And I did put one bank of 16K that's known good.
Press reset.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything most of the time. Oh, I just ripped the keyboard off. Hold on.
That's not good. Yeah, you're never gonna need a box to set down on that.
Yeah, it's
All
just
we're
with the lip
installing
here now, I can't even put it anywhere. So I turn it on. Look, I got a prompt this time.
prompt, but
But
you can't type anything.
I can't type anything, and reset doesn't even work.
Then it's not. Then it's not the keyboard. Something's not allowing on the board.
Okay.
Um,
I'll tell you one thing though. I did put the 6502 in here that we pulled from that other one. So let me just change that for a known good 6502.
that might be helpful.
But the 6502 we just used on the last board, it actually came from here. So I already swapped that a couple times. I'm gonna pull the one that I put on the Rev 4 because I know it works. Okay. Discharge and get in a hole.
You need to buy an anti-static strap so you don't kill chips.
I know, but I can't walk around and use that, so I just don't. I know I'm wrong. I know it's wrong, but okay. So if I turn it on with no keyboard, I get that.
Okay. Well, that this telling us a lot of it's working so far. It tells us video's good. We won't know color until we get into text, until we get a prompt. So
Yeah.
I would say
I have characters too, and I know that I have a good
I would
ROM.
get the logic probe out.
Okay.
The one of the most crucial things in making sure a board is functional at all is making sure the 6502 gets pulled with a high to low transition. And since this board has an auto start ROM and auto start circuit, we should get Apple II prompt in the normal instance.
Let me turn it off first. So here's the thing: no matter what I do, no matter how many times I restart it, it will not give me a prompt without the keyboard plugged in.
That could be a keyboard buffer.
Logan, do you know why there's two 4-pin connectors here?
Where?
Over by the video jack?
Oh, that's just for another auxiliary video. That doesn't matter. Don't connect to that. Connect to the 4 like we normally do.
Yeah, there's two 4-pin connectors here.
The top one.
The one closest to the composite?
Yep.
Okay. Let me bend it
That's
out.
for some other. I think it's for the VidX card or something like that, or some other card that plugs.
Yeah, this is a later board, so
yeah.
Is it what, Ref 7?
It's Ref 7, yeah.
Okay, so I got the logic probe connected. You want me to turn it on?
Yeah.
Oh, I got something different this time. The hell is that?
Keyboard buffers. Keyboard buffers. That's your problem.
Okay.
B6 and 7. Swap them.
B6 and 7.
They're both 257s.
They both look different. Somebody's already swapped one of them. All right.
Swap them both.
257. Okay, I'm going to take them from the.
Swap them both and then connect the keyboard.
Okay, give me a minute. So
I've seen that before.
now that I know that Rev 3 is good, I'm going to leave it alone and I'm going to borrow parts from this Rev 4.
Okay. Make sure you're missing no O2s this time.
Stop making fun of me. There's one in there. It's made by Texas Instruments. So I'm going to pull out B6 and 7. They're both 257.
1 sec.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on, I got to get these chips out of here. 6 and 7. It's weird on both of these boards. They're not the same company. They're the same part.
They could have swapped them. B57, the 257s, both of those, either that or the 174s or the 194s is the reason for the issue that you're seeing.
Now let's start with these. 6 and
Put
7.
a keyboard on that, and then we'll see how that looks.
Got one chip in. I'm doing the second one now.
Also check for any broken, corroded, missing stuff as well.
This board's not really dirty or crusty, unlike that other one. So
yeah, Rev 7s are usually pretty decent. There's no 265s on the board, Rudy, or Retro.
Okay, I've got that. I got this chip swapped. Let's just see what happens when I turn it on. It's still doing the same thing.
Okay, so you replaced both B6 and 7?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so the board thinks we're pressing minus by a lot. And what that communicates to me is keyboard strobe. There's no 133s on the Apple II either, Rody or Retrotech. Let me think.
Let me switch the ROM to integer and see if it does the same thing. Just out of my own curiosity. Give me 1 second.
Let me see. Let's go to onboard IO. Check the keyboard socket.
Alternately, I get this weird jail bars thing.
Well, we need a keyboard connector. We need to see if we get keyboard input now, even though we're having that issue.
Okay, give me a minute. I'm going to put it back to AppleSoft. Okay.
There's no 133s on the Apple II boards. Rudy's guess is F14, C12, D12, and A5. I don't know if it's a 25 or the 2716. It could be, but I doubt it because the board thinks that we're typing a character, and that 2716 is only for representing what the characters are.
Okay, now I get no auto type on a third try to start it, and I can actually type, but then it just dies.
What do you mean it just dies? It looks like you're typing just now.
I can only type like 7 characters, and then nothing else shows up, and then it starts doing this crazy stuff where it's doing 2 things, and then it just freezes.
Okay,
let's hit a bunch of enters. This is like I said, this is really, really weird.
Okay, well we're getting characters now. We weren't before.
So like, see, like I'm still typing A, and then it does this, which is crazy.
It looks like a latching issue.
And then if I keep going to the next line, and it's normal, and then it just says, "No, I'm done with you." And then it does this again.
Yeah, that looks like either a
weird,
RAM. That looks like a data or addressing issue because when it stops typing the A, when it finally starts typing it again, it types in both in a parallel way.
Yeah, it's
and it
odd.
moves the cursor.
And then it just says syntax, and it doesn't say error. I bet you it says it there, but it's not displaying it.
That could be. And so with it unplugged, it does the strobing again?
The keyboard?
Yeah, if you unplug the keyboard, does it start to strobe the minus signs again?
Yeah, I'll turn it off. I'm going to unplug the keyboard, and I can't hold it that long anyway. And then I either get this, or if I power cycle it, like, wait a second, power cycle it, I get that again. but it's not all gibberishy. And if I do it
Okay,
again,
get the logic probe
I
out.
get that.
Okay, let's get the logic probe.
Yeah, I got it. It's hooked up actually.
Okay, so let's measure. Turn it off. Measure pin 40 on the 6502 again.
Okay.
Hey, Steve. Steve came in.
All right,
Where
pin
do I find
40. I
Logan for
see.
the Color Classic?
I'm
Turn it off and then measure it.
not getting anything.
Okay, so turn it off. Turn it on.
Getting nothing. Maybe this is not
That's
connected right. Red to speaker, right?
red goes to the very bottom pin of the speaker header closest to you,
Okay. And
and the
black
black
goes to,
the
maybe
far
that's the
right.
wrong. Are you sure that's the right video jack?
That's right because we did it on the other board.
Okay. Oh, wait. Got something for a minute and then it stopped. Pin 39 gives me something, but pin 40 gives me nothing.
That 6502 may be dead, or the socket's bad, or the trace is dead because you should get something.
That because just got pulled off the Rev 4 that we just fixed.
Okay, then something's not right on the actual board because you should be getting something. The reset signal should be in some type of state, either whether that's high or low or floating.
All right, and let me put this. Let me look at this socket.
Because if you look at the
I shouldn't be able to type it all though. I mean,
reset.
I'm gonna get a different 6502 just to be sure. Give me a minute.
Reset comes from the 8T28 buffers. So if we look at the board and it's not on the 6502, replace the two 8T28s next to the 6502.
Okay, give me a minute. I'm gonna pull a 6502 from.
I was to say it had to be one of the 8T series chips because that's where all the addressing is, and that's what Garth was agreeing with me on. The addressing lines are screwed up at somewhere.
Yeah, I've got a known good Signetics on this Apple IIe, and I'm gonna steal it from there. And it's not crusty.
Reset goes to T28s. It's also attached to the RA01 resistor pack on to the right of the 8th slot.
Give me a minute. Okay. And 40 goes to the right. Okay, so that goes there. Let me just run that real quick to see if that makes a difference.
Let's see.
No.
Well,
So what were the two chips?
We need to measure the signal first. Measure the lag.
Oh, on pin 40?
See if we get anything now.
I'm going to put it on there and then turn it on. I get nothing.
Here, give me a minute.
Oh, you know what? I'm noticing something physical with this. Give me a minute. No error. Now let me put the pin 40 back. I think the socket was physically pulled. It's not giving me anything on the meter though.
What are you saying now?
There was a physical issue with the socket.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's either a trace or a socket issue.
I think the socket was pulled sort of loose.
So what you can do is, since these are the old sockets, pull the 6502 out. So power.
Yeah, but the thing is, it starts now without the keyboard, and I'm getting no gibberish or anything reliably every single turn. I think that might have fixed it. No, there's a bad one.
Well, we need to test something first. Okay, hold on. Let me okay. Reset.
I don't understand why I'm getting no activity on pin 40, but
you absolutely should be. So okay, so pull out the 6502.
But I'm getting stuff on other pins.
Right. Okay, well pull out the 6502. Let's do that first.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm working on it. Sorry. Multiple things going on at the same time. It doesn't want to come out without bending. The whole socket is coming out.
That's
Some.
we want that.
Do you want me to rip the socket out of the board?
We all want you to rip the housing off of the board, not harshly, but pull the chip out. If the socket housing comes with it, that's not a. We won't have to cry about it.
Well,
just try to get the chip first, and if this housing comes
I
out,
am, because the thing is the housing is trying to come out, but only on one end. One end is loose, and no matter what I do with this, wait, now I think I got it. I mean, I can replace the socket, but I won't have time to do that on this stream.
You don't have to replace the socket.
Okay, I got 6502 out.
Okay, so carefully lift the black housing up with your tool. You have to ease it up very carefully, otherwise you'll snap the housing, it'll crack, and that's all kinds of problem.
Okay, I got that side. I have any leverage here. There we go. Okay, I've got the housing off.
Okay.
Oh,
so now
I've lost 2 pins.
You've lost 2 pins?
No, they're broken off inside the socket.
Oh, well, that would be helpful to.
Yeah. So yeah, and I didn't break those. So those were just broken. So whoever worked on this ROM thing probably screwed that up because it's right next to it.
I wish you had a way to zoom in. I can't.
I can't zoom in with that camera. I got to get a different camera. I'm going to need to replace the ROM socket or the CPU socket.
You don't have to replace all of them. All you would have to do is replace the 2 pins and just put ones that haven't been bent like super hard from the force of putting a chip in. Because I was going to say is that if all the sockets
these sockets suck though. This is not a rare board. This is just a Rev 7.
No, I know that. What I'm saying is
I already have to put new sockets in for all these ROMs because I'm not leaving this thing in here. So
yeah.
I'm just going to put a new socket, like a dual wipe socket.
What I'm saying is on the socket pins, you can carefully bend them back out, and it'll completely fix the socket, and it'll fully redo it. And I just did this on my Pac-Man board because my Pac-Man board had socket issues, and I didn't want to replace them, so I just bent the pins up a little bit and then re-put the housing back on, and it never had a problem again.
I also noticed there is actually a 3rd pin that's busted off. This pin, what is that? 21 is also detached. So yeah, that solves this board. I think the board will work fine once I replace the socket and probably put standard ROMs in.
Maybe, yeah, I guess. I mean, there's not really a way to know for sure because if we get the 6502 making connection again, then maybe another chip might still be having an issue.
That's true, but that's something I want to. The resoldering stuff is something I'm going to do off camera,
right?
And we can revisit it if you're willing to.
I am. I'll shoot. I'm totally interested in this.
I got one more thing. I got one more that I want to look at.
Was it the other Rev 7?
What is this one? Oh, this is the red label Apple II. See, it's got a
RFI board.
Yeah, and it was doing something weird. If we have enough time to look at this one real quick, that would be nice.
Version board.
This is one that I put a new video connector on.
ROMs.
Yeah, integer ROMs. That's why it's an Apple II.
All right, Retro Techie, go ahead and eat.
So I get that.
Let me see here. Okay. Whoa, that's okay. Okay. I don't see a cursor flash.
I don't either. Now, if I plug in a keyboard,
might
be about 555. I'm thinking.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. The B3's 555 might be dead.
B3. Oh yeah.
And any 555s almost never die.
I've only ever had one. So I get this, and I can type.
Yeah, replace the 555. Let's see if it fixes the cursor.
And then I get integer.
Okay, that's good.
That's good. Yeah, that looks right. So the 555 at B3, you want me to swap?
Yep.
Okay.
That's responsible for the cursor circuit.
I know I have new ones, but I'm just going to steal one from another board.
See you, RetroTech.
I used to steal them from.
They're so cheap now, though. They're like 10 cents.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull one from the Rev 4 real quick. I think that might be the only issue with this one. Okay, 555 is out. And I'm gonna, oh, this is an Apple IIe, I didn't have one.
Probably doesn't software now.
I don't even remember if the 2E has a 555. I think it has like a different timer that does it's like two 555s in one.
Oh.
So instead of putting because this has at least two of them on it. Okay, so I put the 555 in.
Give it a shot.
Let me put the keyboard back in just because.
Board needs to be cleaned a little.
It needs to be cleaned a lot. It also has 3 different kinds of RAM, but they're all Apple labeled. So it's like somebody pulled RAM out of other Apple IIs and put them in here. I get that. I
No
Control
flash.
B. And I still don't get a flashing cursor. It's weird. It shows the underscore just for a sec, and then it goes away.
Swap A5. Maybe the blank white character space is corrupt in there. So pull the ROM from the Rev 7 we just took.
You want me to swap the GI chip?
Yep.
Okay. Hold on.
Maybe that character ROM is dead.
Well, it types everything. It just doesn't flash. Usually
the character ROM is also responsible for that, though, because the character ROM stores the character for the white blank space.
What about the 555 that's at A13?
That's not going to help because that's responsible for the auto reset, which you're getting because you're getting dumped into the monitor.
All right, cool. Let me swap this.
Let me think. 555. That's B3. That's B3.
B3 I just swapped, and that was from a known good board.
Well, I'm trying to see if we can follow back.
Actually, you know what? Was that cursor flashing on the other machine? Maybe it wasn't.
What do you mean?
I don't know if that other machine had a flashing cursor. The one that was running AppleSoft.
It did for me. I remembered it.
Okay, let me reseat that, and then I'm gonna swap this chip. Come out of there.
I need to see. Where's B3 at? There it is. No, that's power on reset.
Okay, you want me to put in a different character ROM?
B3, here it is. B11 should be getting the strobing coming from B3.
We can test that with a probe if this doesn't work. Okay, so here's a new character ROM. It's a little crusty, but I know it works.
Okay. Wait. Is that a 2513? Turn it off.
I didn't turn it on yet. Yeah, it's a 2513.
Do not plug that in. You will blow that chip.
Oh, this says... Wait a minute. Why are they different?
Because they changed the design and put 2716s. That yacht chip will explode if you turn that on.
Morons. Why do they do that?
To make it easier, because 2513s were cheap or expensive then, so I guess they upped it to 2716.
Okay, I'm gonna have to
Was that chip in the Rev 7?
This chip I pulled this chip from the Rev 4.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't turn it on.
Yeah, pull it from the Rev 7.
Here's a Rev 7 over here.
Yeah, the one that we were just working on. Pull it from that one.
ROM special.
Thank goodness you did not turn that on yet.
Okay, here's the correct chip.
Blowing chips, missing chips.
You're gonna make fun of me for that chip forever, aren't you? Actually, I don't even know if we've looked at this Rev 7 yet. But I just pulled that off because I could more than one.
I was like, I thought we just worked on it.
No, that was a different one. I just pulled it off a loose Rev 7 that was sitting on the floor. Nope.
No cursor.
I can still
We're
type though.
still getting typing and stuff though.
I get an error though.
Well, that's to be expected.
Integer. Yeah, it's crummy.
Does basic work on it? Do you type a basic program?
I think I tried that the other day when I was messing with this. 10 print. No flash. Now it crashed.
That's interesting.
So something else might be going on.
Your ROMs might be bad.
Yeah, they're integer ROMs. So
in the F area. So F8 and F0 are having an issue.
I'm going to swap the ROMs.
Yeah.
Well, I eventually want to put AppleSoft ROMs in this anyway.
If you're getting an error, F2, that's in the F2 address space. So yeah, that relates to those two, one of those two ROMs.
Okay, I need to put this character ROM back where I stole it from before I forget. And I have enough time to try swapping the ROMs and see what that does. And then I'm probably going to have to go after that. Put that back in there. Now, the ROMs you sent me
are AppleSoft, yeah.
I need to figure out where I put them. Hold on.
E F0, E8, E0, D8, D0 is 11 through 15 on the model numbers. The F8 ROM is like a little bit higher up. It's like 20, I think.
Here's the ROMs you sent me.
Yep. There they are. Watch out for when you install D0 because it's got that new pin on it.
Okay. So which one goes where? D0.
The one that's marked 20 should go on the F8. It's like 341-0020 or something like that.
0020.
Maybe the one your thumb's on.
No, that's the character ROM.
Okay.
See D0. I see that's number.
Here, show it up close. Put it up close to the camera. Oh, you almost had it. I'll keep it right there. Okay, so the top left one, that's 12. 341-0012.
Yeah, but which one is which? Hold on, I gotta pause for a moment.
This is fun.
Yeah, I gotta go soon. The food's gonna be ready.
Okay.
Okay. I got a better idea. I can just look at a board that's got AppleSoft ROMs on it and compare it to.
Yeah, I mean, if you see D0, E0, put them in as much as you go. You know, so if you see D0, put it in D0 and corresponding.
So I think
the pin that your right thumb was just on, that chip goes at F0.
Okay, you know what? I can't do this kind of puzzle live because I can't. So
the ROM that you were just on, that one, the 341-0015 that your right thumb was just on, that's F0. That goes right there in the F0 socket.
Okay.
It's very easy to do. I mean, worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, and then we try it another time. But I mean, this shouldn't take that long.
All right, let me try.
Okay, that one that your finger just touched.
This?
The further up, the third ROM on the right. Up one more. That one.
This?
Yeah. That one goes
0015.
Yep, that one goes at ROM F0.
So the second one.
Yep.
Okay, let me. I hate these sockets. I don't know why you like these sockets.
They can work good when you give them some love and fix them.
Okay, that goes there. So I'm just going to leave them where they go until I get all of them out. So I don't care about Programmer's Aid.
Yeah, keep those there in their own area.
I'm putting them to the side. So
pull that one out.
I don't know which one goes to which. I can't.
Pull out the other three, the other ones on the board first.
Okay. I don't know why, but like some people can't put a square peg in a round hole. Putting chips in order like this, like if you tell me like chip number blah, change it, I can do that. But matching up ROM numbers to slot numbers, I don't know why I can't process it.
Okay, so let's take a look at the chips there on the foam.
So this one looks like F8.
Does it say F8 on it?
Yeah, it does. That's why
Okay,
I know that. So that goes there.
It goes there.
This one says E8. Is that a thing?
It goes
Yeah, that's the third one.
To the third one.
And then I've got E0.
Goes to the fourth one.
Easier than I thought when they're actually labeled like that. And then I think this is D0.
Does it say D0 on it?
It says, yeah, 3410011DO.
Does it have a soldered leg to the 12th pin?
Yeah.
That's the D0.
That's the one I got to be careful with?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can put it in. And I'm putting it in the right way.
I would tilt the right side of the chip into the socket first and then put the left side in. That way those pins go in first and they'll get bent.
Okay. That's in.
Okay.
This one is in.
Make sure you don't bend any pins whatsoever.
I'm being very careful. They're lining up pretty good because you pulled them out of the same exact type of socket. Okay. And then I got
and then put
F8.
the last one there.
Yeah, and this one has to be this one. This is what confused me. The first one on here.
That should read 341-0012.
It does.
Yep.
But it doesn't have the D8 anywhere on it. And that was the first chip I looked at, and that's why I got confused.
Yeah, because a lot of the other chips are GI brand, the other ones aren't, so it's kind of mixed match.
Well, okay, so I'll put this extra chip to the side. Let's just see what happens. It just starts, but look, I don't get a cursor either.
Interesting. Let's see if basic will work though. Let's see if you can write it without it crashing to monitor.
Okay, I can try this, and then I'm going to have to end the stream pretty quickly because
okay.
I went over my allotted time.
Okay.
Okay. I'm having to do this really weirdly, so. Didn't crash as soon as I hit return, so that's one
true.
good thing. And if I run it, it runs.
Yeah, that's basic's good. So that's
maybe my integer chips are bad, but
yeah, that's possible. Cursor, yeah, if it's not B3's pulse should be going to B11, which is an 08. So maybe that 08 is bad and it's not outputting to B13 right. So B3 might be good, but B11 might not. That's the only thing that makes sense. That's the only pin that's connected to the cursor circuit is pin 3 of B3 to pin 13 at B11. So maybe the B3 is outputting the cursor pulse, but B11's not taking it and outputting it to the rest of the video.
Okay, I'll have enough time to swap the chip in B11 just to see, and then I gotta go.
Okay.
B11 is a what is it?
It's an 11. Or no, it's an 08.
08. Okay, B11. I got on this other board, I've got a Fujitsu, or maybe it's a Fairchild, I don't remember. Anyway. Nope. Doesn't do it.
No, it didn't do it?
No. What I propose is that we both think about it and try to figure out what else can make it not beep or not blink.
It's a cursor.
But I do have to get off the internet. So, but I appreciate your help, and I appreciate everybody else who's watching me screw stuff up. And I did forget to put these two 257s back on this other board. I'll do that before I forget.
So we fixed 3 boards, 4 boards.
3 fully, and then one partially. because this one's sort of working. I mean, oh wait, LS08 didn't work, so I'm gonna.
Wait, are you missing the LS08?
Yeah, I forgot to put it back in. LS08. I mean, this seems to work other than, I don't know about color yet, but it seems to work other than.
Well, we can test color right now. Just do the GR and then the VLIN.
Right, but I don't have time.
That's right.
I'm 5 minutes over, so.
All right.
Let me switch my camera back. I appreciate everybody coming to watch. I don't know how many you are because I can't see that thingy from here. This is just a basic troubleshoot and have fun, and I appreciate Logan's help. Once I gather up the stuff and get it resorted, if you wouldn't mind helping me again, I would appreciate it.
No, yeah, I'm all for it. I enjoy working on these boards and getting them up and running. Very very easy when you know what you're doing, you know. But yeah, I think what we'll be able to do next time is figure out this issue where we're getting cursor, problems.
Okay, yeah, we can figure that out. And then I still do have this, I believe it's a Rev 7 that we haven't even looked at yet.
Oh, cool. We'll have to see what it's doing next time.
You won't be able to make fun of me because I just noticed it's missing a chip right there. Missing a 139. Okay. It's actually missing a lot of stuff.
Missing a couple chips.
Yeah, this is weird too. It has the 555. One of them soldered straight in.
That makes sense.
And one of them's not.
Somebody put a socket on that one.
Yeah, I think Apple used to run out of.
The 741 should be in a socket or not.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so somebody put 2 sockets in.
Anyway, this is the one that I worked on myself before, and it had a bad LS00. I thought it was a crystal, so I swapped the crystal, but the 00 was bad. But there's still other weirdness with it. So anyway, that'll be next time. I don't know when that'll be, but everybody have a good evening, and thanks, Logan. And I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.